Welcome to the last session before the closing keynote. It's going to be a virtual session. So Sharath from NTT Data will be talking about simplifying HANA Central Administration using Joule for free. Sharath is a speaker and technology practitioner focusing on applying AI in SAP HANA Cloud. He is passionate about translating AI capability in practical solutions. Sharath, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. And also thank you for allowing me to present it remotely. Due to logistical reasons, I couldn't travel there. So probably going straight to the topic. Today's topic is about looking at using SAP Joule, or earlier which was called as a Gen AI assistant for HANA Cloud Administration. So let's start with the presentation. I think everyone would know what HANA Cloud Central is. We are in HANA TechCon, but a brief introduction. It's a one-point access for all admin activities on SAP HANA Cloud. So whether it's to manage configuration, looking at data consumption, track usage, or any admin activities that SAP allows the partners or the customers to do on HANA Cloud, this would be our one-stop. This would be also the one-point access for all your HANA Cockpit and HANA Database Explorers. So that's the focal point of this presentation. So with this Gen AI assistant, when I observe and what it's being offered, it kind of ensures that last mile connectivity. So unlike other Gen AI assistants or generative GPT tools, this will ensure that all the users, especially administrators, to connect to the right admin tools in HANA Cloud Central, to execute the right queries in terms of getting the monitoring data or to analyze content on HANA Cloud, to access the vast knowledge base within SAP, and to do your regular monitoring activities. So this kind of brings together or enables people to seamlessly and easily access various admin tools, perform admin activities, and breaks the barrier to have a in-depth or technical understanding of SAP HANA Cloud. So I'll be flipping between the presentation and the demo just so that we kind of see it in real time. How do we use it and how easy it is to activate this feature, how easy it is for someone to use it or to encourage the partners especially or the customers to start using this tool. To activate the Joule feature or HANA Cloud Admin, it's if you already have the role to access HANA Cloud Central, you just need to go to your profile settings and tab for Gen AI. We would actually just need to flip on a switch, accept the terms, and it's activated. And the best part is you can activate and deactivate as and when you need. So let's say you would like to do an admin activity for a certain period, you can activate it and deactivate it. And which we will talk again in the presentation. I do mention that it's for free. So SAP provides 0.5 capacity units for free. And considering the admin activities that we would do in HANA Cloud Central, 0.5 CU is more than enough. So in the end, all these activities or all these features that I'll be showing can be activated for free for the customers. So you can utilize it, showcase it to customers, and also that it is also available through trial accounts. So if for your team or if someone wants to, out of self-interest, want to explore this feature, they can also do it on a trial account. So we will just quickly flip to the demo part of it. Let's see. So this is my HANA Cloud Central. I've already activated it, but let's see how do we do it. I go to the profile, I go to the settings. There is a Gen AI tab. And as you see, it's clearly mentioned. I just need to flip on a switch. Disabled. Switch it on. Boom, it's enabled. It'll automatically enable the diamond icon in the Joule. And you can see it. So that's on the steps to enable the Joule feature on HANA Cloud Central. Within HANA Cloud Central, the Joule feature or the Gen AI assistant targets 4 key categories or 4 key use cases for end users. One of them is for monitoring and especially to monitor the alerts. Considering that it's cloud, we are not managing the infrastructure. The only thing that we are expected to monitor, control, and ensure that everything is fine is to track the alerts. For a technical person, it may be easier. You would know that there is an alert app, or you need to know and click on the particular entries in the alerts and to identify what needs to be done. But to simplify it, with this Joule, an action button is by default enabled. When I say action button, it's basically this. So it's default enabled. So you just need to open the Joule tab, click on this alerts, and it gives you a very detailed and simplified presentation of various alerts, its criticality, severity, and also the best part is troubleshooting. So if you see an alert, um, and let's say you're not a technical person, you are a partner or you are a customer and you just have the admin rights. If you need to do a quick troubleshooting or if you need to understand what this alert is all about and need to delegate to the right team, the troubleshooting steps which are described in this window would be very helpful. And it would just ensure that you are reacting to the situation a little more faster compared to a system down, raise an SAP ticket, or expect a technical person. And these are very critical during non-support hours on weekends or during holidays when, let's say, if system is down and you need to act quickly, you may not have the team at hand, but at least you're not stopping your response. So that is one of the category which we are targeting on this one. A second one, which may seem simpler, but in my view is very useful, is to give kind of a navigation access to various admin tools. So within HANA Cloud Central and HANA Cockpit and the Database Explorer, if you have a look at it, there are quite a few tools, quite a few applications which are bundled within it. Now to navigate to it, you need to be familiar with HANA Cloud Central. You need to be comfortable with what tool is for what purpose and so on. As we saw the earlier situation of breaking the barrier or ensuring a last mile connectivity, this feature, what it does is when you prompt for a particular requirement, the Joule assistant will be able to understand the requirement, understand that, okay, the user is requiring a particular app to be opened, and then intelligently navigates to that app and opens the app for you directly. So we don't need to remember the breadcrumbs or the paths to a particular application. You just need to know the name of the application or what the application does. And that should be enough. And you will be able to access that particular app, act on it. Um, and I see that that is quite a useful feature, especially in times when you need to, when you're facing a critical situation when time is of essence. That's very useful. There are default action buttons like we saw earlier, which I'll show in the demo, which are readily available for access. And this direct routing feature makes it much easier. So it'll encourage us to use the various applications which are kind of hidden and bundled with HANA Cloud Central. Third one would be more technical, um, which is to use our SQL queries to uh, query various monitoring tables, various database tables, um, and all the content which is maintained within HANA Cloud. Usually one of the challenging aspect is to find the right tables, um, right columns to be queried, and this will require us to go through our documentation, HANA Cloud documentation or help.sap.com, or many times you need to go through the blogs because the monitoring tables keep changing. With Joule Assistant, you just need to ask for the requirement and state that I need a query for it. The query gets generated, and you can also use it to open directly in the SQL console, run the query, check the data, and you don't even need to know the SQL. Just one keynote, there are times when some of the tables may not match the version of HANA Cloud that you're using. So there have been some occasions when the query prompts to use certain columns and certain tables, but there is a mismatch. So it could prompt saying that, okay, this column does not exist in the table, but that may depend on the version of HANA Cloud that we are running and Joule, which has been trained on. But apart from that, the SQL feature is very useful for a technical person to quickly query, analyze the data. So let's say I would like to understand what are the large tables, what is the growth of tables in the last 6 months, maybe to take some action to move some of the data to NSE, maybe to partition the tables. But so for all of those activities, this SQL feature is very useful. So we saw three features. The fourth one would be the knowledge base. Again, simpler in terms of um access to various content on help.sap.com. But the one aspect is you are in the same window, you are in the same environment. And if you need to understand how do you do it, why do you need to do it, why do you need to create a migration, how do you need to create a migration, what is NSE? So why do I need to move some of the data into NSE? What's the advantage? You can utilize this feature in the GenAI assistant and quickly browse through the content, make understand what you're doing, and it could be a good learning tool also, apart from our monitoring activity, apart from our queries and maintenance activities that we would do. So before I move forward, we'll quickly show all the various categories that we discussed on. So the first one I spoke of about was the alerts. We do have an action button, so I just need to let's say there is a critical issue, I need to see what's happening, I just need to click on this button. So if you see, it basically looks up, identifies that there's an alert. Okay, there's an so let's say I don't understand this issue. There is a HANA client news outdated. I don't have an HANA client. So if I need to analyze it, I just need to go for it. And it starts its magic of troubleshooting it, giving me more context. Maybe there is an application where a node client is used, which is outdated, and I need to search through this thing, and then it's up to me, and I can move forward in that space. Second one is what we were talking of about navigation to various admin tools. We see these buttons which directly take me to the application. So I need to create a new instance. So it takes me over there. But let's say I don't want to do that thing. I want to go to, let's say, what do I do? I want to open a migration, or I want to open the alerts page. So it'll navigate over there. And if I need to go for, let's say, uh, SQL, let's say I want to see memory consumption, quite critical on HANA Cloud, which we need to see. Oh, shouldn't check for alerts. Okay, classical demo issues. I think we are experiencing a bug out here. It's kind of moving in and out on alerts. But okay, probably we have a couple of minutes before we move forward. So I'll probably check on the knowledge base part of it. So generally, I struggle with the explanation of what NSE is to my managers and the team. So if I need to do that thing, uh, I just need to go for it, and it kind of gives me the explanation. It gives me the sources, which is very useful, and I can click on it, move forward, and navigate over there. In terms of SQL, we didn't have a look at it. So if you see it, it could, of course, I did prompt with SQL, which makes his job easier. But if I just type, how do I get a list of tables? It will still be able to understand that, okay, the user is requesting an SQL query. So it just goes ahead, does its own job of thinking, preparing its own SQL, and hopefully within a minute we should have the SQL ready. Okay, so have the SQL ready, and I don't need to manually go ahead and open the console here. I just need to click this button. Okay, I would have it. I would connect to my instance. And I'm going to say a prayer and run this query. Not bad. Okay. So if you see, if without this assistant, if without anything, if I need to ask someone, can you give me a list of tables on HANA Cloud? I would first, probably my default, I'll go to Google, or right now with GPT, I would go ahead and check it, maybe get a query, go ahead and open a SQL console, do a select star, then look for the columns. It takes its own time, and I've been working with HANA Cloud. So if I don't work, I would probably delegate it to someone else. With this, um, I have the freedom, or the user has the freedom to explore HANA Cloud much more easier and much more comfortably without the fear of using it. Now we are. So the key takeaways, which probably I wanted to highlight, is with this feature, what it does is firstly, it makes it faster. It makes it much easier to access HANA Cloud. It breaks the barriers, um, enables easier navigation to various applications, which is quite challenging. So if we, um, so I know. So for example, like we hear the sheer number of applications and tools are vast. So if you need to navigate through each, you need to know how do you navigate. So that one aspect of navigation makes it much more easier for consumption. Um, the SQL query, especially with the vast tables, the query, the columns to be queried on, much more friendly for the technical audience. And especially, I would feel this feature enables non-technical audience to start using it much more freely with less of fear of what is this HANA Cloud? Because the admin activity seems to be in mindset more a technical activity. So this kind of breaks that barrier, and the knowledge base feature which we saw about helps people to use it also as a kind of a learning tool. And then the best part is, you don't need to request your customer for a license. SAP bundles it for free. So you just need to enable it and start using it. So I would say I've come to an end of the session. We are open for Q&A.
Yeah. Right, absolutely. Thank you, Sharath, for that presentation. Again, for those in the room who can see the QR code that's hopefully coming up, rate this session, and now open for questions. Was? Ist besser, gell? Okay. Any questions?
Thank you for the presentation. My question would be, how can we use those same features in Cloud ALM? Because basically, currently it's possible to monitor the HANA instance and other stuff in Cloud ALM. It would be possible to use those same things as well there.
I don't know. I mean, in terms of course, Cloud ALM comes with its own set of management and various maintenance activities. Here, it's specific to the HANA Cloud instance which you are supporting or maintaining. So it'll be separate for each instance. So for example, we have a customer with separate instance for D, Q, and P. So our focus definitely would not be on D and Q. It would be on the production instance. So I don't know how we can actually bridge or make this feature available on ALM. That's probably something that SAP can help us. But with the feature which is available, it's for a specific instance. So to maintain that instance, to monitor that particular instance of HANA Cloud, this is quite handy.
Okay, thanks. More questions?
By chance, are you aware of if the Joule is aware of the SQL statement collection of Martin Fraundorfer? So that I think it's on the wish list of most database administrator to have these statement collections at hand in tools like HANA Cloud Central, and would be an easy solution.
Yeah, true. I mean, we used to save these SQL queries, the system queries, and user queries. From the I was part of the beta program when we were testing, where many of the SQL queries would not be accurate. So the table names would not be accurate, or the column names. But as I see with each month, probably now the thinking feature is much more advanced. I see most of the queries execute. I would say 90 to 95% queries execute, gives me the data. Very rare that I can find a query with a wrong table or a column name. So I don't need to now save my queries to run for, let's say, like I did for large tables or monitoring queries, which we would save it as statements. I see that requirement has kind of gone away. We can directly remember our prompts, or we can just prompt and keep experimenting with it.
But I think your question was rather related to that pre-built statement library, and would rather require kind of a semantic search into that statement library in order to pull it and then execute it. Okay. Oh, okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. But
I'll have to check up. Yeah.
Anyhow, that brings us to the end of that session. Again, thanks for Sharath for taking the slot, and thanks for taking the time to present remote.